I congratulate all of the recipients and their families and their friends. What a wonderful honor and accomplishment this is, and it certainly is indicative of a legacy. But I would like to take just a moment, if you would. I'd like to talk about Dave McGeney for just a second. I've had an opportunity to work with David twice, once just after the Civil War, and more recently, before he retired from the board, the school committee, just very recently. Dave McGeney has been one of my friends since I moved to Peabody 35 years ago. I've known David in many different ways, and I've known his family in different ways. And one of the things that I would like to say tonight is that Dave McGeney has made decisions, created initiatives, supported initiatives, and always made sure that what was good and right for kids came first without an agenda. And he has serviced kids who aren't even born yet. That's a legacy. Congratulations, David.
First of that group for tonight, first inductee is Dave McGeney. And I'd like to call up Jim Liakos, a former school committee member and city councilor and friend of Dave's, to introduce Dave. Jim Liakos, please.
First of all, I would like to thank the Peabody Educational Foundation for inviting me to tonight's award ceremony. My congratulations to all the recipients this evening. And I'd like to thank Councilors Gravel and Town Councilor Tommy Gould for allowing me the privilege of presenting this award to my good friend and colleague, Dave McGeney. I want to mention that Dave had a second career. Maybe many of you didn't know about this, but in addition to his demanding career and his community involvement, Dave was involved in a hard rock band known as McGeney and Moore. They became famous on the North Shore for their heavy metal Irish songs. So, going back to the school committee, how did Dave end up there? Well, you can thank Michael. I was about at my wit's end and had kind of had it with the school committee, and I was planning on leaving politics, and Mike says, no, you hang around. I know somebody who wants to come on. And I said, well, who is it? And I knew Dave. I said, well, Dave's a good guy. So Mike went to Dave and said, you know, how would you like to be on the school committee? He said, doesn't take much time. You know, not a lot of late nights. Everybody gets along real well. And sure enough, Dave came on the committee. Well, I don't know if you know, but he came onto the committee at a time where we had some very contentious late night meetings. We often had to stay long beyond 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and sometimes even 12 o'clock. You know, and after some nights where we had a little bit of time afterwards, we might stop at Oriental Jade, Mike and I and Dave. And I can always remember Dave saying to me, how the heck did you do 20 years on this committee? And I look at Dave right now and I say, Dave, how the heck did you do 20 years? Nobody ever plans it. I mean, I spent, it almost seems like my entire life running for office. And you don't plan it that way. Somehow it just happens. And the years go by so fast, and it's a hard thing to spend that long a time in community service and be able to do it and do it as well as Dave has done it. Right from the start, Dave was an engaged member of the committee. Oftentimes, as a new member, is reluctant to participate fully at first, but Dave wasn't shy about engaging in the discussion and raising issues that he championed. Dave championed full-day kindergarten. That was a big fight back when I was on the committee, and Mike and the others. And We take it for granted now, but we have a nurse in every school in the system. Well, that wasn't always true. I think it was just at the high school and at the Higgins. And that was one of the fights that Dave really championed and pushed for and eventually became successful. And of course, Dave was instrumental in the building of the 2 new elementary schools that we have in Peabody, the Brown and the Carroll. So I could go on about a number of different accomplishments, but I would like to just talk a little bit about his family. As you know, Dave was a lifelong Peabody resident, married to Stephanie, has 2 daughters, Sharon and a son-in-law, Anthony, over there, daughter, Emily. Dave is currently the Vice President and General Manager of Business Copy Associates in Saugus. He's past chair, vice chair of the school committee, chairman of the finance committee, trustee of the Peabody Historical Society, member of the North Shore Chamber of Commerce, and Dave has received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Massachusetts Association of School Committee. Now, just one last comment from my heart. Having spent a lot of time in politics and in running for office and serving with different people, you meet a lot of people that become acquaintances and friends. But it's a special time when you meet somebody like Dave McGeney. And he has become my closest friend, my closest confidant in politics. We share just about everything. And I'm so honored this evening that I can present to him the George Peabody Legacy Award. David?
Wow, thanks. I scarcely know what to say other than I'm such a lucky guy for many reasons. When I first got on the school committee, I had someone like Jim to kind of teach me about the passion of public education. And Mike Garabedian, one of my closest friends, who taught me about how to do things in a way where you remain friendly and charming. He says, Dave, you never know, someday you may need to sell those people something. And Dave Gravel taught me by his example, come to these meetings prepared, ready to do your work. You know, it's kind of a negative thing when you hear someone say, oh, he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. Unless you're Dave Gravel, and you always are. And then it's pretty good. Tom Walsh, you heard earlier, you know, he's the ultimate statesman, cool-headed, level-headed. So I had some very good guidance. And of course, the luckiest thing in my life is my family. My wife, Stephanie, my daughters, Sharon and Emily, my son-in-law, Anthony, and Emily's friend, Andrew, who we're still trying to close the deal with him. He's a little hung up on my very strict no refund, no return policy, but the irony is that I really didn't like school. I was a terrible student. All I wanted to do was play sports, hang around. And I remember in high school, I just wanted to play sports. And there was a teacher, Mr. Skolin, he says, Dave, your life isn't just about sports. You have to spend some time on academics. He says, why don't you try something extracurricular besides sports? I said, well, I stink at everything. I'm not very smart. He says, well, you can talk pretty good. He said, why don't you join the debate team? Okay, I'll try it. So one day, here's my first debate. It's my turn to rebuttal. Here's my response. Yeah? Well, screw you! I thought I had won. You're out. Go back to sports. But the irony is that I became passionate about education because I had taken it so for granted. And for 20 years, twice a month, I had a few hours to stand in my soapbox and rail against things and ask for things and bitch about things. And the kids need more books and they need smaller class sizes. We need more reading instructors. We need longer days. We need summer classes. And I was just really starting to get good at it. And about year 18, I started just bitching about anything. Why does my neighbor take his trash out in his underwear? Something must be done. But in all honesty, when I received notification in the mail that I had been chosen to receive this award, and this is a very big deal, my second response was, what an honor to be among the recipients who have already received this award. My first response, of course, was they really need to raise their standards a little bit. But if I can just be a little serious for a moment, because I've lost my soapbox, I do want to take a couple of moments to talk about something really serious, because public education is critically important. It's the bedrock of the success in America and our democracy. And it's under attack. Public education is a $500 billion industry. Now, those of us in this room, we don't think of it as an industry, but trust me, these hedge fund managers do look at it as an industry, and they are desperate to privatize this. And unless we are diligently protecting public education, they will steal it from us. And they will skim off the best students, and the only students that will remain in traditional public schools are those who got cut out of the charter schools. We cannot let that happen. I could go on, but you've heard the comparisons to Finland and how good Finland's doing. Well, Finland doesn't have any charter schools. They have a public school system that's well-financed, well-respected, and supported by their community. And you can't fire enough teachers and close enough public schools to get to Finland. America is great because we're different and we're a mosaic and we're an inclusive society. That makes our task of public education all the more difficult. But in Massachusetts, and again, getting back to how lucky I was, I got on the school committee right at the advent of ed reform, which took Massachusetts from a little bit better than average to unprecedented success. Why? Because we had bipartisan support at the State House, Democrats and Republicans alike, coming together with a single-minded goal to improve education and support it with the funding that was necessary. And now they want to take that away. Now they want to make us common. They want to make Massachusetts like Arkansas or Alabama. Massachusetts, the home of Horace Mann, the home of the first public school in America. We can't let that happen. Please be cynical of all of these people who will tell you that the public schools are broken. They are not broken. The work that our teachers do in the schools every day is absolutely heroic. They're being asked to fix problems that they have absolutely no control over: poverty, broken homes. Please continue to support public education. This is a great honor, and I'm so proud to be here. Thank you very much.